It's a beautiful rainy day here in East Tennessee, and I'm headed into the grocery store. I can remember when I first was diagnosed with alpha-gal syndrome, spending hours walking around grocery stores looking for something to eat or snack on and not being able to find what was safe for me. So I'm going to take you on a tour. First stop is produce, but don't worry, we won't spend a lot of time here. We all know that fresh fruits and vegetables are good for us unless we have a different allergy altogether. This is a probiotic drink called kombucha that I really enjoy, but it is an acquired taste. Just something different to drink that you know won't have alpha-gal in it. Be forewarned though, it is an acquired taste. There are a couple more things in the produce section that I wanted to point out. You may or may not know about them or even think about them when you're wandering around the grocery store mystified about what you can eat. The guacamole is often very good and it is alpha-gal free, at least this one is for sure. You saw the ingredients there. And then Hernandez salsas are also, and this one is actually in the cooler section and looks even more appetizing than the one in the jar, which we'll look at later. Both of these and also pico de gallo are fantastic with tortilla chips, most of which only contain oil, salt, and corn flour, so they are also alpha-gal free. And of course, we have all of the pre-cut fruits and vegetables, as well as all of the whole produce in this section. Now, let's get to the more interesting things. There are a few specific sections that I'll recommend that you look at just to see if there are things you can eat, because I am gluten-free, I had to look in these sections, and I find things all the time. For instance, these Simple Mills crackers, they also have cookies. In some grocery stores, they're mixed in with all the other crackers and cookies, but in several grocery stores that I know of, they are kept separately. Let's take a look at those just one more time. These are the regular crackers, and as you can see here, they are listed at the very bottom of the box as vegan, and you can see the very short list of ingredients. But I want to point out that the cheese crackers are not vegan, and they are not alpha-gal free. You may or may not be able to eat them, depending on whether or not you can have dairy. However, I made the mistake one time of picking these up, and I found out very quickly that they have real cheese in them, and I had just assumed that it was not real cheese. That said, so far, I believe these are the only ones that I've come across that are not vegan. Just be sure to double check your labels. Now let's go have a look at some other foods. Believe it or not, there are a couple of things in the candy aisle that are actually vegan, and they are going to be huddled together somewhere. At my grocery store, they have the Hue chocolate, and they have several flavors. Other grocery stores will have more choices, but you can see here at the bottom whether they say they're vegan or not. Hue chocolate bars are the ones I see most frequently. Another area in the grocery store where we might be able to find some things that are alpha-gal free are in the canned meat section, and you'll find these little tuna kits and things like that. This particular one is not alpha-gal free. However, if you take a look at some of these packaged tunas, you'll find that they have minimal ingredients. You're going to want to check every single flavor if you're interested in any of them, but you will find some that are alpha-gal free. And if you find some that are flavored and alpha-gal free, or plain if that's what you like, then pair them with some of the safe crackers we looked at earlier, and you'll have a nice snack. Soups are really good if you have access to a microwave or a stove, and you can find some alpha-gal free soups in the supermarket. Don't be tricked by things that look organic or that have some alpha-gal free options. Be sure you're checking the labels and you know which ones are safe for you. Pacifica is a little tricky for me. You have to check every can every time, but Amy's, which is just below that, has many vegan options, and I will tell you that I have enjoyed every one of the soups that I have tried for them. They also have the pull top tab, so there's no reason to need a can opener, which is very convenient. Amy's also has delicious chilies. This one is really good, and then they also have fire roasted vegetable chili that is absolutely delicious. If you can find that one, try it for sure. Alright, let's head over to the deli meats and see if we can find that elusive turkey without the carrageenan. Most of them will have carrageenan, and you'll get tired of checking turkey packages to see if they have carrageenan. So once you find one, just remember what it is. That way you can just glance through the coolers and see if they have what you're looking for. Some Land of Frost turkey has no sugar and also no carrageenan, but be sure to read the packages because that's not always the case. One brand that I finally got brave enough to try because I kept seeing it in the grocery stores was the Smithfield Prime Fresh. And the only one that I purchase is the smoked turkey breast because it contains no sugar. If you're not sensitive to sugar, they do have other turkey breast flavors. If you're lucky enough to live near a Kroger, they have the Simple Truth brand of deli turkey slices in their coolers, and those don't have sugar in them, and they also do not contain carrageenan. And Publix carries this honey glazed turkey. Next is pasta, which normally speaking isn't something that's quick or convenient on the go, but a lot of stores carry these skinny pastas, which have minimal ingredients, and yes, they are a processed food, but they are alpha-gal free, and the texture is pretty spot on. They don't have a lot of flavor, so they go well with any kind of pasta sauce. They're also very quick and convenient because you just pop them in the microwave for a few seconds and they're warm. Okay, so on that note, let's take a look at pasta sauce. The Barilla pasta sauces in marinara and tomato basil are, from everything I can tell and my unofficial research, alpha-gal free. These have a pretty basic ingredient list, and from what I know, the natural flavors are not animal derived, and they are not ridiculously priced. My real go-to, though, is Newman's Own, and the price here isn't too bad, but at Walmart it's less than $3, or at least it was the last time I purchased it. The ingredients are very clean, and the flavor is very fresh. Rayo's comes up a lot in online groups, but you can see the price is pretty high. On to salsas. Here's the jarred Hernandez salsa that I referred to earlier. I don't know how easy it'll be to read the ingredients on here, but you can see, hopefully, that this is a pretty clean salsa. The things you'll be looking for when you're reading the labels on salsa are going to be sugar and natural flavors. Those are the most common, and the things that I look for because they could or could not contain alpha-gal, and I don't want to take the risk. If those are a concern for you, you'll want to take that into consideration as you read the ingredients. The cleaner the better, obviously. The packaged fruit can be an option as well if you're checking the ingredients to make sure it doesn't contain sugars and natural flavors, if in fact those are a concern for you. This applesauce at my Food City actually contains nothing but apples, and it is delicious. In general, if you're just looking at plain applesauce and you're not getting anything with a lot of additives, you're going to find that applesauce can definitely be an option. And the price is not too bad. Dehydrated and dried fruits might also be an option for you. You need to double check and make sure they don't contain sugar if you can't have sugar or you're not sure if you can have sugar yet, and make sure that they don't contain any natural flavors. Oftentimes you can find some that contain nothing except for the dried or dehydrated fruit, which is really great. The price is not fantastic. Usually it's pretty high, but they are a good option, and you can often find those in airports as well as grocery stores. I frequently mention the sugar, and I think I need a little bit of a disclaimer here to remind you or to let people who aren't familiar with it know that when I refer to sugar, I mean sugar that's been processed with animal bone char. I also want to make it clear that it is not common for people with alpha-gal to react to sugar, although some do. Regular corn tortilla chips are usually a very good option because they only contain oil, salt, and corn. So if you have no allergies to corn, you should be good to go with tortilla chips. Plain Lay's, Ruffles, and store brand potato chips are usually alpha-gal free because, like tortilla chips, they only contain the basic ingredients: potatoes, salt, and oil. Another treat is Fritos. Fritos also contain only the basic ingredients, and they go great with so many things: chili, guac, salsa. Chips are already expensive, and Fritos can be too, but there are some store brands and brands like Terry's that are just as good as the Fritos. Sometimes they contain a few more ingredients, so be sure you checking that label. And that brings us to popcorn. Skinny Pop has several options for popcorn that are alpha-gal free. Check the back and make sure they are vegan. One of the things those of us with alpha-gal find is that we can't or eat a lot of flavored things, and I was surprised that they had a few that were flavored and vegan. And that brings us to the dairy section, where I do believe I'm seeing more and more options. This particular Food City only had 2 flavors of the silk yogurt, but as you'll see here, both are listed as vegan. And the one on the left with the blue label is also made with almonds rather than soy. If you're finding the information in this video helpful or informative, please like, subscribe, and share. Thank you. And finally, let's talk about what there is to drink. I rarely ever drink soft drinks, but if I'm going to drink a soda, it's going to be something vegan. Coke Zero, Coke, Sprite, and Sprite Zero. Many other Coke products are also vegan. A quick Google search for vegan soft drinks and vegan waters will help you identify beverages that do not contain mammal byproducts. Some brands that are safe include Hint, Smart Water, Fuji, LaCroix, Waterloo, Life Water, Deer Park, and oftentimes your store brand water, but you need to verify. I hope this video was helpful, especially to those who are newly diagnosed or those who are struggling to find joy in what they're able to eat. This list of ideas and foods is not comprehensive. It's really based on my own experience and what I'm able to eat. It also only includes quick foods that don't really take a lot of time or cooking. Upcoming videos will include the same type of shopping trip through Aldi, Dollar Tree, Dollar General, and Walmart. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a big thumbs up, comment, and subscribe.